There's just one change that will make studying with flashcards ridiculously easy. And that change was incorporating a theory that's known as parsimony. If you don't know who I am, my name is Simon Katkov. I'm the founder of UofTearless. Back in 2024, I went from my lowest grade ever, a 37%, to the top 4% of all first-year psychology students at my university while only studying 2 hours a day across all of my courses. In this video, I'll explain exactly what the theory of parsimony is and how you can incorporate it into your studying exactly how I did. If you're new to my channel, this video is part of a series where I explain step by step in excruciating detail exactly how I cut my studying hours down so low and still excel in school. So if you're new here, consider subscribing because you don't want to miss this. I can guarantee you it's going to change your life. Now, I'll try to explain this as simply as possible because that is kind of the theory of parsimony. When multiple explanations are available for one phenomenon, the simplest one is often the best. Now, there's a very common mistake that I see a lot of people make when they study with flashcards, and it's that when they have the term on the front and the definition on the back, they make the definition way too long, and this makes encoding the information extremely difficult. You're basically just doing a ton of extra work to get the same result. Whenever you make flashcards or even take notes in school, write them in the simplest way possible. For example, if I were to write an area in a developing brain that is responsible for distinguishing different types of stimuli, I would probably want to write this instead as developing brain region that differentiates stimuli types. See how this is much simpler and easier to understand? Now I'm about to change your life because I actually have a really good hack for you, and it's to have AI reword things in the simplest way possible. And I'll even give you the exact prompt that I used for it. My favorite prompt of all time is explain this to me in 15 words or less at the level of an 8th grader. And sometimes I'll even do explain the following terms for me in 15 words or less at the level of an 8th grader. And I'll just list like all of the terms that I'm having trouble with, and then it will give me just the list and I can just copy and paste them into flashcards. Now you can mess with the word count and the scholastic ability a little bit, but I've already done that a lot, and it's taken me 3 years to realize that like anything above 20 words is just a little bit too complicated and too long, and anything below, I'd say like 10 words, is probably not going to be a complete explanation. Likewise, anything below like a 5th grade reading level is probably going to be a little bit too simple, and they're probably going to start talking about like animals and trucks. And anything really above like 10th to 12th grade, you're probably going to get around the same definition that you're going to have in your slides anyway, and so there's really no point. So I just would keep it at 15 words and the level of an 8th grader. Now, I've made thousands of flashcards, and I've gotten much better at this, and so I actually don't need to use AI most of the time, but it is still a useful tool, and I would highly recommend this to you, especially if you're not sure what exactly the definition means, and maybe even ask it to explain it to you in more words and then chop it down. Hopefully this helps you learn a lot more in less time, and in the next video of this series, I'm going to show you exactly how I style my cards to make it as easy as possible to learn as much information as possible. See you guys in the next one.